you take the shot, you look on the back of the LCD and everything looks great, but you get back to the big screen and it all starts to fall apart. In this week's video, we're talking about the things, the mistakes you only see when it's too late. We're in a modern mosque photographing without a tripod. And I say without a tripod because in places like this, modern architecture where there's public around, it's not usual they allow you to use a tripod. So you're working on the fly and that can be more difficult, and there's definitely mistakes that you can make when you're photographing modern interiors like this. And that's what we're going to be discussing in this week's video. Let's get in and let's get shooting.
So the first one is cropped edges that you didn't see. And what I mean by that is door frames that are clipped by a few pixels, or columns touching the edge of your frame, lamps half in the shot, half out the shot. This kind of stuff can be really frustrating when you frame things up nicely in camera and you think you've nailed it, but actually later on you only discover that you've ended up with more in there than you wanted.
So why does this happen? Well, of course, that mostly happens when you just focus in on the subject, you're excited about it, and you forget the rest of the frame. Before you press your shutter button, you should scan the frame throughout your composition, your whole LCD if you can, or your viewfinder if you're looking with your eyepiece. Top left, bottom right, top right, bottom left, wherever it is in the composition, check it throughout before pressing the shutter button. You can ask yourself, when did you last zoom out and check the edges of your frame if you're just constantly shooting, say, for a period of time? And these days, of course, you could easily go into post, crop it down if you do get something like that, or remove it. There's a lot of tools, especially in Luminar Neo, for example, where you could actually remove that little piece that's cropped into the bottom left-hand corner.
Have you ever looked on your back of your camera LCD and thought everything looks amazing, only to go back to your monitor to discover slightly tilted verticals? Sometimes it's done, of course, by design, but other times it's by accident.
So when does this happen? Well, there's a couple of examples I can give you here, because there could be handheld options and there could be the fact that you're using a tripod. On a tripod, first of all, which is not me today, essentially it could be that you're just not locking down everything nice and straight on that tripod. The legs are slightly off, you've locked one leg longer than the other, for example. So make sure you recheck everything, recompose it, put your L bracket back in position and then go again. Also, another tip for using a tripod is to use the LCD, not your viewfinder. You can double check in the viewfinder, but normally on a tripod, I'm using the LCD. Level the tripod first, then the head, then check in the LCD, and then recheck the shot and shoot. When it comes to handheld, it could be a number of things. Right now, I'm holding the Osmo Pocket 3 in my hand here. So even that, holding it up in the air like this, is starting to get a little bit heavy. You know, I haven't worked out for a couple of weeks, or maybe ever. And actually, it starts to get heavy. It wears you down after a period, and it could be that you start leaning off to one side or the other. And actually, you're not trying to do that. You want to make sure you're nice and straight and level, getting your lines nice and locked in, and that's what you're looking to do. For both of these options, I can say activate the grid lines in camera on the back of your LCD. You can also, in some cameras, put them on in the viewfinder too, and I would highly recommend doing that because it can help you keep things nice and level and straight when you're trying to compose and frame your compositions.
Does everything fit in frame, but nothing feels right? Well, this can happen quite a lot, where you're going round the room, you're trying to frame things up, you're nailing it, you think you're nailing it. You go for your low angles, you go for your high angles, but something still isn't quite right.
So why does this happen? Well, it happens for a couple of reasons, but primarily it can happen when you've used the wrong lens, the wide angle, the super wide angle lens that's in your kit bag, not just thought about the thing and the scene overall. Usually I'm trying to aim for something around 24mm to start with, and then I work forwards or backwards from there. I can even go wider if I need to, or more narrow. I also make sure that I'm using my feet move through the space, especially when I'm using handheld work. But even if I'm on a tripod, I usually walk the space first, get my tripod in position, and then shoot. When you've got the right focal length selected, it's easier, but it could also be to do with your position. If you look at this now, look at the wall behind me, bending as I'm too high, and as I come nice and straight, the wall levels out in camera, so it stops the distortion. Think about it, are you showing the space or are you distorting it? So look in that LCD, look at your composition and make that decision for yourselves. Actually, just over here, there's a female section to this building, and it's an amazing example of actually using distortion creatively to capture something. But I tried to do it with a wide angle, it didn't quite fit. I went for the tilt shift handheld and tried to join it together like that. But I actually pointed the camera upwards to create the pano, and that of course distorted the ceiling and made something a little bit more wow. But even with a wide angle, I was pointing upwards slightly to get more of the detail in above. It stretches the flooring, but it gives it a little bit of dynamic feel. So the key here really is to try and know when to break the rules of vertical composition or not. A lot of my shots are straight, are clean, but actually, every now and again, it's great to break the rules, and certain buildings lend themselves to it very, very well. So another tip I've got for you, a quick one here, as I jump in, as I'm photographing this space, is to think about your contrast. Now what I mean by that is your autofocus system in your camera works on contrast. So if you've got a lot of dark and moody feel in the space, even if there's light coming in, think about where you're focusing. Your focus point is pretty important. If you think you've nailed your focus, zoom on into the back of your LCD and double check, because actually it could be you've missed focus a couple of times, even if you're relying on the autofocus system. The best tip then is to think about areas where there's light and shade and focus there, because if you do that and get the right depth of field, you're going to have nailed your focus and things are going to be sharp. You've got nice light, clean lines, a balanced frame, but your eye drifts. There's nowhere to stop. Nothing holding the viewer inside the image. Why does this happen? It happens when you chase geometry, you focus on symmetry, you clean the frame too much, and sometimes you remove the one thing that gives the image weight. What changes it is an anchor point, one detail that slows the eye down, a chair, a column, a doorway, a shadow, or a person. Something small that gives the frame direction. Now the eye lands first, then it explores. Ask yourself before you shoot, where does the eye land? Dead corners can kill a photograph, a dark blob, an empty patch, a cut off shape, a corner with too much visual weight but no reason to be there. The problem is that corners still count even if your subject is in the middle. The viewer still feels what is happening around the edges. This usually happens when you frame too fast, you find the main subject, you line up the centre, then you accept whatever is sitting in the corners. So slow down, check all the corners as mentioned earlier, lower the tripod, shift the height, change direction, move left or right, and actually remove the corner problem or fill it with something useful. A shadow, a line, a piece of architecture, a shape that supports the frame. And then ask yourself before you take the shot, are my corners helping or hurting? You could exposure bracket, both on a tripod and handheld. Don't be frightened to do that. On modern cameras, it's perfectly fine. And then work backwards from your brightest exposure, not just set something that looks right. If you're on AV, this can happen more times than not. I tend to shoot manual mode for this exact reason. I want full control of my exposure.
You've got an extra object in the scene, your exposure's pushed too hard, it's slightly tilted, and you're going to rely on fixing it later. You tell yourself it's fine, and you move on.
So when does this one happen? Well, it tends to happen because of you, I'm afraid. It happens when you think, oh, I'll move on, I'll fix that in post later, or I'm done, I've nailed it here, and you've not taken enough frames or shots, and you go back later and you realise you've got any of the mistakes I've mentioned in this video. However, think about it. If you take more shots than you need, especially when you're hand holding, it can really help you to fix things later. It can reduce your editing time, time spent in front of the computer, and you can get yourself out more shooting spaces like this.
Plenty of spaces, when you go into them, aren't allowing tripods these days. It's actually becoming more and more common. So nailing your kind of composition and getting things right handheld in architecture work is really essential. I actually try to do quite a lot of exposure bracketing handheld and practice out in the field quite a lot. Also things like focus stacking, I actually do that handheld sometimes too. And I even go as far as using my tilt shift to do creative focus stacking or exposure bracketing too. These images on the screen here are all created using those techniques handheld, would you believe?
If you're one of these people that seems to find you're having a lot of frames back at the computer, that none of them are really working, then maybe just work the space a little bit more. Make sure that you've done all of these points and try to think about your composition. Oh, I hope you've enjoyed some of those tips. As I shoot and scout here in Oman for the first time, I decided to take you along with me and kind of guide you through some of the stuff that I'm doing. Listen, most stuff is not to do with technical. If you're getting it wrong and you're getting photos that you're not enjoying, or they're not quite right, it's usually not because of the technical aspects. You're shooting it well. Settings are fairly easy with architecture, and even if you're slightly off, it's not going to make a huge difference. One of the biggest things though is being patient. I can't stress this enough. This is my biggest technical challenge. I find that most people rush through the site, they run off very quickly, and then of course they don't get the results they want when they get home. So being patient, hanging around, reshooting stuff, working the space, working the frame, all of the things that I've mentioned in this video are also going to help you to achieve better results. We've got more adventures to come from here in Oman. We're only just getting started. So I hope you've enjoyed this one. Got any comments, leave them below, and until next time, I'll see you all very, very soon.